but we'll keep it moving because Arsenal are still active in the transfer window. Some outgoing news, one apparently on the horizon in Kivor, and then some incoming news with not sure how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna say it as I see it, Hincapie.
I've been told it's Hincapie. I'm not taking the piss. That's actually how I've been told it's pronounced. So there we go.
Hincapie.
Hincapie.
What's our thoughts, feelings, everything around that? I haven't really delved into it too much over the last couple of days because I've still been like Jordan enjoying the Eze stuff. But James, you're nodding. I'm sure you've covered it in some way, shape, or form. Does it make sense? Because you know me in terms of Kivio, I think that's a valuable squad member. When I'm seeing the prices around Porto saying 20-25 million euros, which is what we paid for him, I just wonder why. And then you couple it up with the rumours that Hincapie, I've even forgot what you've told me, is about 50-60 million potentially. Is it something worth it? Or look, Jordan's even confused.
No, I was saying, wasn't it 40 million euros, Kivio?
What?
I think it rises to 40 million euros. That's what I read, but could be wrong. Sorry,
that'd be good.
I'm here to learn.
No, that'd be good. I didn't see that report. I was nearer what Turkish was thinking. If it's nearer 35 million pounds, I'll feel great, but I'm not sure it is.
That'd be good, Jordan is the professional here, so should we?
As he checks to just make sure his sources are correct. Just chat amongst yourselves, sisters. I'll be back in a second.
I've done my research on Hincapie, and I did something with Ben Mattinson, who Twitter Football Scout, who really knows his players. And I've got to say, my research really surprised me. I thought we were signing potentially a centre-back who could play left-back, like almost every other guy we've had in that position. What I think we're actually getting is more of a marauding left-back who, push comes to shove, could cover at centre-back. Now, I think that's interesting for two reasons. One, it suggests that Calafiori playing those opening games in pre-season at centre-back wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just making up the numbers, that actually Arteta does want to see him there. And secondly, it may be, well, actually three things. It maybe also explains why Calafiori has been starting the season at left back, because he's more of a bombing up and down player than Lewis Skelly. And three, with Eze coming in, you need someone who gets up and down the pitch like that. And watching his comps, reading his stats, his numbers, Hincapie is a 6 foot, pacey, like up and down left back who has played in a back three for Leverkusen. He won the Bundesliga with them. He played from left centre back, but he played that kind of modern role where the wider of the centre backs have license to underlap and get up and down. Very Chris Wilder style. Xabi Alonso did it a little bit with Leverkusen. So if you look at his heat maps, you look at the areas he covers, he's a really up and down player. And I always thought Arsenal needed that kind of left back, but it's interesting that Arsenal might have found it in the Arteta mould of he will do it, but he's still 6 foot, good in the air, can play centre back. And what's interesting is how he might complement a Calafiori, because Calafiori has always been talked about as someone who could step into midfield from centre back, a la John Stones. And actually he's done that for Italy a lot. He comes forward with the ball. If you're going to have a Calafiori at centre back and Hincapie at left back, naturally he steps forward, Calafiori, Hincapie can tuck in, or Calafiori pulls wide into the left-back areas, and Hincapie goes forward to let Eze tuck in. So actually, I don't know if he's any good, guys. Like, I don't know if he's very good. I know he's won the Bundesliga, and I know that there was a lot of hype around him. I can tell you that. He looks quite good on the comps. But tactically, he's very, very fascinating, and arguably exactly what Arteta would have wanted. Only what's interesting is it's another left-back. So Lewis Skelly, Calafiori playing that position. I just wonder whether they're going to be used more in midfield or more at centre-back to accommodate for someone like Hincapie, or whether this really is just a £45 million squad player. But that's my analysis on him.
My first thought was that's a lot of money to spend in an area where you're quite strong. And James, your analysis there kind of, this was my thought before you just gave us your reaction there. So a lot of that, if that's true, then okay, I can... That does make some kind of sense. But my first thinking was, is Gabriel going next summer? That was genuinely my first thought. Is Gabriel going next summer? So they're reeing up on centre backs. I know you can play left back and all that, but my first thought was, why would you spend that much money on an area where you're already quite strong? unless somebody must be. If it was a £5 million signing, or if it was a kid, you're like, fine, that's a lot of money to spend in an area where you're strong already. So is somebody leaving?
No, well, because Kivor and Zinchenko are going. That's two players.
Even with those going, I factored even those two
but
going.
Calafiori's got injuries. Timber's had 2 surgeries in 2 years. Ben White isn't fit right now and had surgery last season. Gabriel's off the back of hamstring surgery himself. I can see why they want to leave no stone unturned. And dare I say, is this Arsenal, for once, actually showing ambition? This is what Man City would do. We'll go get the £45 million squad player, not the 20 million can do a job.
And I'm down with that. But then you can apply that to our striking options. We've got 2 strikers at the club. I don't count Jesus. We've got 2 strikers, and one of them is on his second bad injury. So if you're gonna, if your theory is correct, why not do that with the strikers? You've got 2 strikers. Do you know what I mean? So
I think because with the strikers, just to answer, I do hear what you're saying. So I know I'm sounding argumentative and batting off everything. I do hear what you're saying, but I think with the strike situation, it's more. You can put a Trossard there. You could put a Martinelli there. You've got Madueke, Saka, Dauman, Eze, Martinelli, Trossard, all as wingers. Like, as a collection of forwards, we're like really stacked. Maybe we've only got 2 strikers and Jesus to return eventually. As a collection of forwards, whereas as a collection of defenders, we are light, and there are a lot of injury-prone ones in there. There are a lot of them that have had real problems. So I think that's how the club is seeing it, and I hear it, to be fair.
Lee, thoughts around all of this?
Yeah, listen, I think, for me, I think Kivor it's more that Kivor wants to go. That's how I see it. I think he done so well last year. He wants minutes. We've got to replace him. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, as you say, like Gabriel, is on the back of a long, terrible injury. The other 2 that had those injuries have gone down. So I think that, then it needs proper cover. Because I don't want to see Gabriel playing at Port Vale. I'm sorry, I don't want to see him playing at certain games. I do think that he needs to be, rested at certain times. Can't keep relying on the Salibas and Gabriels. And also, guys, I want them from March, April, May. So when we got like December and January, when we've got lots of games, these players are going to get and need to be involved. So I think it's good business. And I think at the end of the day, I still say Miles Lewis-Skelly will go into midfield eventually. Even on Saturday, I see him pick the ball up from midfield, drive past 2 players. It's something in games I think we're going to need it when teams are playing that low block. And I think that he could still be using there. So I think it's just sense just to get it out, And I think with squad players, I'm not being horrible on that. Kivior's a Polish, he can't continue to keep being cover. You know what I mean? There's going to be a time when he's going to say, right, I want to play regular. And the performances that he showed last season have made, I think, cemented that I want to go. It's a shame because he really did look a player last season for us. I thought he really looked like an Arsenal player last season when he came in for that little run. But it's sort of...
The fee for me is like that. I understand him wanting games, but I'm sure Hincapie is where's he from? Ecuador international. Without checking, I'm pretty sure he must be.
Yeah, he is.
So we're gonna face to say get better value. Kwanzaa went for what, 40 mil?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kivior's more established, and he's played at a better level, proven himself at a higher level.
I was having this exact same chat with my Arsenal fan group today. Right. They were stunned that I was saying, why aren't we getting 35, 40 million for him minimum? Like, I don't think he's any world beater, but when you see what other people, and I reference Kwanzaa at Liverpool, when you see what they're getting for their players, Kwanzaa's not better than Kivor. He's not like he's miles younger than him either, as far as I'm aware. So why can't we? We're just not great at selling players, which is why I can't find it, but I definitely saw that it was nearer to the 40 million euro mark, which made me think, okay, that's good. Because I initially saw 25, 30 mil, I think was what I saw. And I'm like, that's not good business. It's not good business.
That's what 25.
But I agree with you. The fee's disappointing. The problem is I've got so numb to it. I'm like, yeah, Arsenal sell badly, like they just do. Are we encouraged as a collective that Arsenal are getting ahead with it? Like, they've identified exactly who they want already, as Zinchenko and Kivor prepare to leave the club. but also that it's a player of this quality. Now, I'm saying a player of this quality, having being no expert on him, but we're signing Bayer Leverkusen's starting left centre back, the guy who started in that position under Xabi Alonso when they beat Bayern Munich to the title, and we've gone, for 40 to 50 million pounds, that's going to be our squad depth and cover. Like, I take a lot of encouragement from that. This is a known player, a player Tottenham and Chelsea looked at as well to more likely be starters or some kind of very used squad player. And we've identified, I think our defensive options year on year get more and more stacked. It's like, it's the one area of the pitch we take remarkably seriously after 10, 15 years of it being a complete and utter joke.
I think if Kivor and Zinchenko go, it makes complete sense. Am I happy with the level of play we're bringing in? Yeah. I kind of echo Jordan's sentiment around doing so in attack, in certain positions too. But I also understand what you're saying about out-and-out strikers. I think we've actually only got one out-and-out striker, really. So I'd even narrow it down further than Jordan. But if Kivor and Zinchenko go, and this guy comes in, I believe he's reliable. I believe he has played consistently for 3-4 years now.
Yeah, he stayed fit.
So I understand the move, and your question about the ability, the level, the quality, it is refreshing. It is nice. Maybe the whole 50 million Madueke backup stuff is actually true because, this would be another kind of statement signing in a department where we've never usually spent this much. Usually it's a 17 million pound signing from somewhere that comes in and does a job for 5-6 years.
Yeah. I agree.
Did I read that it was a loan and with an option to buy, or was that?
That's what they're trying.
Which is that would make it even more incredible, wouldn't it?
Well, I think they're eating into next year's budget. I think they've seen an opportunity and they've gone, if Kivor is done on that basis, then they're happy to do this one on that basis, which is also what Tottenham were looking to do. So there must be some encouragement that Leverkusen are willing to do that.
And we're apparently trying to do the same with Kivor to Porto, isn't it?
Can I ask you guys a question? Ask Sharoy on the Gooniverse. Do you think Arteta snapped in the summer? Do you think he just had a moment of, that's it? Like, because this is one extreme to the other from Arsenal. This is finishing on 89 points and adding Sterling, Neto, Calafiori, and Marino to injuries decimating our squad. Marino playing up front, kids on the bench in the Champions League semi-final, still finishing second, still getting to a cup semi-final, and him potentially going to the board. That is it. I want depth in every position. I want not 2 players per every position. I want basically 5 players for 3.